All right, hello everybody, and this is our video for presentation in critical reading class. We are from group 9 and we choose part 8 as our question. So this is our member of group 9. Number 1 is Karina Cahyasari, and then Naili Hidayatul Rahma, and then me and Fitran Barrozi, and then the last is Yumni Dauma Umi Arabia. So this is our question. We choose part 8 as our question. Let me read it. Part 8. Naval architects never claim that a ship is unsinkable, but the sinking of the passenger and car ferry Estonia in the Baltic surely should have never have happened. It was well designed and carefully maintained. It carried the proper number of lifeboats. It had been thoroughly inspected the day of its fatal voyage. Yet hours later, the Estonia rolled over and sank in a cold, stormy night. It went down so quickly that most of those on board, caught in the dark, floating cabins, had no chance to save themselves. Of those who managed to scramble overboard, only 139 survived. The rest died of hypothermia and before the rescuers could plug them from the cold sea. The final death toll amounted to 912 souls. However, there were an unpleasant number of questions about why the Estonia sank and why so many survivors were men in the prime of life, while most of the dead were women, children, and the elderly. That's the text for our question number 7, 8, and 9. Let's start with number 7.
Okay. My name is Yumni Dauma Umi Arabia. I will continue the question number 7. One can understand from the reading that most victims were trapped inside the boat as they were in their cabins. The explanation, the correct answer is E, because based on the text, when the cabin was flooded, indeed, some of the victims died because they did not have the opportunity to save themselves. It can be known from the sentence on the text, and that is, it went down so quickly that most of those on board, caught in their dark, flooding cabins, had no chance to themselves. And then number 8 will continue by Nailil.
For number 8 is continue by me, Karina Cahyasari. So the question is, it is clear from the passage that the survivors of the accident, the answer is B, were mostly young men, but women, children, and the elderly stood little change. The explanation is, the answer is B because in the text, precisely at the last line, it has been explained that so many survivors were men in the prime of life, while most of the dead were women, children, and the elderly. So the survivors were mostly young men than women. Then the children and the elder has little opportunity to survive from the sunken ship. For the next question, we'll read by Nailil.
Okay, I will continue the last question. Number 9. According to the passage, when Estonia sank, the answer is C. There were enough lifeboats for the number of people on board. Explanation. The correct answer is C because based on the text, when Estonia sank, there were enough lifeboats for the number of people on board. It can be known from the sentence, it carried the proper number of lifeboats. That's it for our presentation. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.